So yeah, these logos, as you can see, I mean...
So you use your turn.
Yeah, I think Darkspawn, I like that it's eating the words. That's pretty cool, you know. That's like quite demon-like.
Don't you love that font? Like the 80s
I actually
retro
quite
vibe?
like it. It reminds me of like a Doom-esque kind of thing, you know? The Darkspawn logo really has like Doom vibes coming from. You know the Doom logo had the two-tone logo on it? That like gives me like Doom vibes. I really like it, actually. Big fan of the Darkspawn logo. But I do really like Diabolus logo, especially now that I've seen that floating head thing they do when they sometimes phone into the UKLC. That just whenever I look at this, I'm just like, he looks devilish. You know, he's got a great the artist that did this has got a great expression. It's like
He does. And
fun fact.
Oh.
This is fun fact. This is really fun.
Fun
Are you
fact
ready
of
for your minds to be blown about how
Classico.
fun? This fact is so fun that the red logo of Diabolus, it also coincides with them being red side every time in this series. Yeah, there you go. my production manager is making what we commonly see in the UK as a sign of affection using our hands and one finger. Borch thinks it's actually being abusive to me, but actually he's given me a sign of affection. Thank you, Borch. I love you too.
What a lovable bunch.
What a lovable bunch. Right, we're jumping into this final game, hopefully getting to draft ASAP. Diabolus look back on their form. They look in the groove. They found that kind of more consistent performance that we expected from them. You know, having seen multiple weeks of them throughout the UKLC, having seen them qualify for the EU Masters and make it to the finals of the UKLC playoffs. That's the consistency we expected from Diabolus. And, you know, they kind of found it a little bit here going into this final game.
Definitely. And there we go. I was about to say, I'm going to be honest, I was not a fan of the first pick of Carly. I saw Croxton's performance in the last game, but he really, really showed that it was a good pick. So good that Darkspawn just immediately want to take it off the table, as he really made it work, not only in terms of his lane matchup where he really struggled last time.
What do you think about this logo?
Forge of Champions. I love that the lion has a scar on its eye. Like, that's
like a really minute detail.
That is my favorite. I mean, you know.
It's very British. I like it. You know, it's like a
scar.
The lion. I mean, it looks a little bit like
I think
Mufasa, doesn't it? It looks actually.
does.
Do you reckon they?
But I think that.
Do you reckon they styled it off Mufasa? It kind of looks.
He has a scar.
No, but yeah, doesn't. Wait, no, not Mufasa. Who's
Scar has a scar.
Scar's got
His
a scar.
name
Oh my god, I'm an idiot.
is literally Scar.
I'm sorry. Lion King, not my trivia thing. Anyway, it looks like. Do you reckon they styled it of Scar from Lion King?
I don't know.
It looks kind of Scar-esque,
I do
right?
think it looks really good. Like, as with any, or a lot of countries, our national animal is also a lion. So, you know, it also reminds me of,
Isn't that the Netherlands
as well? Yeah.
Everyone loves lions.
Everyone loves lions. And
it's like the three lions. It's like a very British thing. Anyway.
I was about to talk about the Rek'Sai, but if you want to talk more about the lion.
I mean, I'm in a logo analyzing mood. If you want to tweet logos at me and just want some memey kind of reviews, happy to review your logo. Just hashtag Forge of Champions. There you go.
The Rek'Sai, for the first time.
Oh, we got a trophy. I'm being told we have a trophy.
We have a trophy?
We have a trophy. I don't know where it is. Do we have the trophy in here?
Can we get the trophy? Zyra Khan, I'm going to keep you up to date.
Oh, next week we have a trophy we can show. Okay,
so Zyra Khan getting picked up. Rek'Sai for the first time making it through pick and bans here. And PFI on the aggressive jump.
Chronicler's like, please just talk about the game.
I just, you know, I want to give a experience where we get both. The logo analysis
and the analysis.
Honestly, if you would have let me, I would just talk about logos for the entirety of it.
I would happily do this entire game talking about logos, but we only have 3 logos, and I think we'd run out of content.
But we have champions.
But they're not logos.
No, that's true.
I mean, I don't want to critically analyze champions. That seems a bit harsh towards the champions. They've got feelings too, you know.
That is true. Right,
we are heading through that first draft phase. We've got the Rek'Sai, the Thresh, and the Kai'Sa locked in, but it is going to be that lock-in for Yusa and Hado of the Xayah Rakan. We saw Hado have a really good set of engagers coming out from the Rakan. Yusa has been known to play that Yusa has been known to play the Yusa. Yusa has been known to play the Xayah at a very good level throughout the Forge of Champions and also UKLC tournaments. So excited to see those guys pilot that on the bottom side of the map. However, Rakan is classically considered pretty bad into Thresh, which is why you often ban it when you pick Rakan.
And despite that bot lane matchup, I agree with you. I got to feel like that with the Rakan and also the Rek'Sai that's just able to put out so much early pressure, and the lockdown that they have there is really threatening to me. Finally, Croxon gets his Orianna, and we were talking about Croxon before, but you know, it's really all about the Orianna. Also, the Vayne has been banned. We did not pay attention to it, but Kerberos's Vayne was so scary.
It was so scary.
Not going to deal with that again. And even though Akers wasn't able to make it in the end, he did feel like a legitimate win condition at times for his team.
Yeah. I mean, also, you saw the Vayne ban, so you could say, well, they didn't like the Vayne-Gnar matchup, so they maybe want to pick Gnar blind again, because, again, Darkspawn are on the blue side. Do you ban junglers here? That's an interesting question, because I would be considering banning the Jarvan Sejuani, maybe, but then we know that Monkus has got a lot of sort of jungle champions that he likes to play, but it makes sense to ban things that would synergize easily with the Orianna.
Exactly, and something like the Hackerim I would also not mind, because giving that over to Kerberos and having a really good ball delivery system, that is also just an incredibly strong champion, seems to be like a little bit of a risk, but you can't really take them all away, right? But I agree with you. The Sejuani, maybe I feel like Sejuani in of itself is more of an enabler as opposed to a really, really strong standalone jungler. And I would love a Hackerim ban here. If not, and it gets picked away, I feel like Darkspawn are going to have a kind of a rough time dealing with it, and it is getting banned away. And I do feel like with the combo that they have already on the side of Diabolus, with the pressure that they're going to have, Kerberos, he is very comfortable on the Hackerim, and the Orianna pickup, I think that's a really good ban.
I would be thinking like Lee or Sejuani in my, if I was going to be picking a jungler here. Oh, I forgot Skarner was open. People actually pick Skarner into Jarvan and Rek'Sai matchups, and Monk is very happy to do so. Does do all right with the Orianna too, because you can kind of just shove yourself in the middle of the team fight, use the Orianna ultimate, then pick someone off with your ultimate as well. And again, gives that last pick potential over to Kerberos. The safe blind picks of the Urgot on the Gnar that we've seen from Darkspawn so far are off the table. We're going to have to see something else coming out from Akers in this game.
And we see the Lux getting hovered here. And
don't want to. I mean, look, it is a pick that Vigo can play. We've seen a lot of Lux support in recent times, and it's something that Vigo's likely going to do okay piloting in that mid lane. We'll see exactly what Akers decides to take on the top side of the map.
Hold up.
I don't want to. I'm not going to talk about a Yopper-esque Z pick in the top side of the map until it's actually locked in. It is a fairly risky blind pick on top as well, because you are fairly exposed, and you really only have that W to get yourself out of danger. It would throw down the gauntlet if he gets picked, but the Nico is a lot better. It has lots of good matchups into tanks on the top side. It also means that Kerberos is either going to have to pick another range champion to match range for range. He could go something like Kennen, although Kennen's actually pretty bad into Nico. But he could go range for range, or he could just try and pick something more aggressive like the Camille, for instance.
Yeah, just get on top of the Nico, because she is still, even with the little survivability, she's fairly squishy once you get right on top of her. Instead, it's going to be the Irelia, and it's going to go over to Kerberos this time. And I kind of like that. I feel like if you're able to weather the harassment in the top lane, if you're able to not get poked down too much by the Nico, as soon as you get on top of her, if you get an Impale, if you hit your own stun, it's over very soon. Because even with a Pop Blossom, I feel like Akers is really going to walk on the razor's edge here. With the Nico, it can feel really oppressive if you do get ahead, if you can dodge all the ganks, all the stuns, and you're able to get to your first or your second item, get that Blade Ruined King, and just start shredding through Kerb without him really giving opportunity to get to you. But if the Irelia ever gets ahead, or if you're not completely on point with dodging all those skills, I think it's a really risky matchup.
It's the same for the Camille as me, right? Any ranged champion in top lane is going to struggle versus good gap closing kind of melee bruisers or assassins, which is what the likes of Camille and Irelia kind of fit into. So Akers playing this matchup is going to be difficult if Kerberos does get ahead, because he's just going to start to snowball, and snowball very quickly. Diabolus definitely, I think, on paper are the better team. They look more comfortable coming into this second game. Darkspawn had a great first game performance, but it was into a Sona Taric composition, and they looked like they had an ideal sort of pick scenario for it.
Also got 4 kills.
Yes,
like the first
also got 4
minutes.
stacks very quickly on the Kindred. We're actually seeing the Rek'Sai now for PFI. He won't have the same kind of snowball potential that the Kindred has got. But it's more standard versus standard, and I think standard versus standard, as we've seen, is slightly weighted in favor of Diabolus.
I've got to agree with you there. I think that if Darkspawn can once again take control of the early game and kind of force a tilt like we saw from Diabolus happen in the very first game, if they have the momentum, if they have the early game tools, and they can get something like the Aurelia behind, then you're going to feel really good, because don't forget that first game where there were three Triforce champions that all just barely hit their Triforce spikes, and then by the time that they actually got them, you're still looking at the logo. You're still looking at the logo. I'm just trying to do analysis.
I'm just looking at it. I'm like, that's actually just Scar.
What does that tell you about Forge?
That we're ready to
throw our
brother into the ravine to make sure that we get the crown. And there we go. That tells you everything.
That's how champions are forged.
That's how champions are forged. And then our brother's son is going to come back and take the crown from us. That's what we know about Forge of Champions. And these guys could be brothers. We're kind of like reenacting this right now. Like the Hell Brothers. I know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I don't know how we didn't pick up on that.
We linked it all together. We solved. Singe did it. Oh, you're probably too old. You're too young for that. Jake might know what I'm talking about.
I have no clue.
It's a Donkey video, like from about 6 years ago, where it was like this big lead through it. It goes, and at the end it was like Singe did it, and you've got to watch it. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. We're into the game now between Diabolus and Darkspawn. Does anyone remember that video? Please tell me someone watching Forge of Champions remembers the Singe did it Donkey video. And if you do, please tweet me, because otherwise I'm going to feel incredibly old.
That's okay. That is how it goes, is it not?
I've been asked by my producer to explain the video in a bit more detail. I'm pretty sure it was Donkey, although I'm not entirely confident. Essentially, it was a video where there was like some big conspiracy in Riot Games, and it was like a made-up conspiracy. And he went through this massive, elaborate linking conspiracy, and in the end, it was just a picture of Singed. And he just like said Singe did it.
If someone would do it, it does seem like it would be Singe.
Please tell me someone that remembers that video. Unless I've made this up in my head, but I'm almost certain this video exists.
I'm sorry. I would love to. I would love to back you up here, but I'll take a look at it when I have the time.
All right. Well, someone is going to remember that video. Otherwise, I'm going to feel very sad about my life.
That's quite the statement you're throwing over to me there. He looks all right, guys. Don't worry. Just do tweet at them if you know the video.
Yeah,
though.
please tweet at me.
Do.
Yes, someone's tweeted at me already. Whoever Hakuru League is, I love you. They remember the video. As Flirt already takes a lot of damage from you, said
already gets used as well.
Hakuru League, you're my favorite new person.
Monk is already there, or rather going for the topside clear, and we might see them meet in the topside river, and that's something, especially because I've seen both Conqueror and Predator Skarner, and I do feel like, especially in a team setup like this, Predator is just a little bit better. But you're not going to try and look for a duel with the rack size, the topside scuttle gets taken. Priority already there as well, level 2 hit early.
Oh, Hado actually gets a good knock up. The Ignite comes through, there's a flash there. I think Hado goes down for first blood. Hado trying to put his body on the line for Yusa as they had not hit level 2. And Yusa did get hooked up by Fast-Legged, and you can start to see this matchup. It is rough for the Rakan. Hado unfortunately loses his life, and an immediate small advantage now going over to Flirt and Fast-Legged. I think the Predator works better in this scenario because you've got 4 ranged champions for the most part. I mean, obviously Thresh isn't like 100% ranged, but you've got 4 ranged champions for the most part that you're dealing with. So you want to have the Predator to be able to get onto them quickly to utilize your ultimate. If you had lots of melee matchups where Conqueror was going to become useful, then maybe. But I just think that for this particular instance, I just think that the Predator is better.
Definitely. I also feel like your role within this team isn't really to try and go for some extended duels, and you don't really need a dueling power when you're playing Skarner in a competitive fashion where you can just ask the rest of your team to help you if you find a target. And like the Scorpion, you want to draw that back. And for now, Curb really getting pressure. We talked about if he's able to hit the stun, he might actually threaten Akers. But for now, it's really going to be just the harassment. As Curb, he gets taken really low there. Already focused, forced to back here. And will teleport back, so won't miss too much. But Monk is making his way towards the top lane with his Predator boots picked up. That's a luxury that is going to be nice for Curb. Teleports back.
So we're all about community interaction here on the UKLC and Forge of Champions.
It's the video again, isn't it?
No, not quite. I got a tweet from, and if you want to tweet, make sure you use the hashtag #FortuneChampions, guys. Don't just at me. I'll talk about it in a second, because Kerberos is now looking to go aggressive onto Akers. Monkiz has popped that Predator and is moving in. Akers probably going down here, which is why he's not going to burn his flash. And Monkiz will pick up the kill. Although, Houston now has to flash away, but flashes directly into the knock-up. He will go down. It's a 1-for-1 trade across the map. Speaking of community interaction, before we just analyze a little bit of what's happened there, if you want to tweet me, make sure you use the hashtag #FortuneChampions. You can also at me. And Pravius has added me and said, I don't know the clip, I just want my Twitter name said on stream. So Pravius, @Pravius_. There you go. Thank you very much, mate. Love you. And thank you for contributing to the discussion here on Fortune Champions.
Contributing to the discussion.
Now back to 80s with
community.
Alan Partridge.
That is also a reference that I just completely do not get.
You don't get Alan Partridge?
I do not.
You don't get Alan Partridge.
I don't know what that is.
Alan
Is that a cereal?
He's a national treasure. He's a fictional national treasure. And you can see everyone's face just like, what's going on here? He doesn't get Alan Partridge.
I don't get how people keep getting confused over this. I'm literally for it. I don't know
look.
your national treasures as Akers once again.
I know they chose the wrong one. No, I think he's dead anyway, but they chose the wrong one. He has got flash, remember, actually, because he didn't burn it in the previous one. But he didn't have to use it because they chose the wrong clone. Oof, that's an oof.
That's a big one right there. Cool getting picked up for Akers.
How would you describe Alan Partridge? Alan Partridge, because do you know the actor Steve Coogan?
No.
Okay, well this is going to be hard. Alan Partridge is a TV. Oh god, I can't talk about Alan Partridge while you're dying, Diabolus.
In this game.
Oh, he gets pulled in, instantly cleanses though, gets himself out. I can't talk about Alan Partridge while everyone's getting ganked. Okay, Alan Partridge is a show about a Norfolk radio DJ called Alan Partridge.
Is that a city?
Norfolk is where I grew up.
Okay.
So, oh, Krogson, solo, goes down to the basic attack and Vigor gets a solo kill off the back of that gank. Norfolk is an area of England. It's like I guess it's like your Rotterdam. It's farmy.
Okay.
It's like farmy.
Rotterdam is not farmy.
What's the farmy area of Netherlands?
Like
then?
the east?
Yeah, I guess.
Gelderland.
Yeah, that place.
Okay,
it's like that place. It's the east of England as well. It's where I grew up, actually. I went to school there. And he's a Norwich radio DJ, which is the capital of Norfolk. And basically, he just puts himself in really blunderous situations. As Vigo, gonna go down here to Kerberos, who rotates down to take down the control board.
So many 1v1 kills here.
I know. We can't talk about the game when I'm trying to talk about Alan Partridge. It's just.
Is it like Mr. Bean?
Actually, I mean, look, Mr. Bean's a bit more slapstick. Alan Partridge isn't so, like, always so in your face. He's a bit more, like...
It's subtle.
It's subtle, but kind of. I mean, that's a bad way of describing it. Let's stop talking about Alan Partridge. It's going to be an engage. Haddo tries to get the Grand Entrance to re-engage right now. Been a bit messy in this early game. No major advantages going over, though.
I don't think P5 is going to be in time.
I don't know. He's got a smite available. He's going to have to just dive back over. He gifts over the free dragon to Monkiz. Has he got the flash, though?
He doesn't have the smite.
He doesn't have the smite, sorry. He will just get it, though. I think it's going to be the pull going on to Haddo, who will just dive out with the shield.
Oh, that's got to feel so bad. He was so close to getting it as well. Can't really. Tries to sneak it away there. Monkiz throws down the pings right from the get-go, makes his way back to from the base. And the Ocean Drake literally giving over for free here to Diabolus. And that's going to make the sustain for someone like Krogson a lot easier. Needs to be afraid of not getting 1v1 again, because those bindings, if they hit, are quite dangerous. And here's Monkiz trying to go in for a big play on the bot lane.
Looks like they should be able to pick up the kill onto Fast-Legged, and suddenly Diabolus starting to ramp up. They should get a couple of turret plates from this as well. And that will set things up pretty nicely, because what you can do, remember, is if you're in a pretty awkward matchup in the top side of the map, you can just get a couple of turret plates, rotate top, and get Rift Herald after you've taken that first dragon. So it's something that Diabolus can consider if they want to. I've had some more community interaction here. And again, look, guys, keep tweeting me. I love talking about your tweets, because, again, we are just all about community interaction here on Fortune Champions. Someone, Little Poro, tweeted me and said, I don't think the logo is Scar, more majestic. And actually, I'm going to show you this. You can have a look. That's the Fortune Champions logo. That's Scar. Kind of get where she's coming from, but you can see the similarities between the two of them.
He's more scruffy.
He's more scruffy.
He's Scar in his like prime.
Yeah, Scar in his prime. Maybe
prime Scar.
Maybe before he became overcome with vengeance and attempting to take the throne. Kerberos now going to be stunning up a good double stun onto the Nico, but that comes the ultimate, should lock Kerberos in place. And I think Kerberos is just going down here. Monkiz says, no worries. See you later, mate. And lets him go down to Akers.
And Pill wouldn't have really changed anything there. And nice no hesitation there from PFI. Just flashes in on top of Kerberos, makes sure that he gets that kill. And that's going to make the matchup a little bit easier for Akkas. He's still looking to stay away from fighting, and he has not backed yet ever since he picked up the kill. Although, actually, no, I think he backed once just to pick up a refillable potion. But besides that, he's been looking for the long game here. Akkas just wants to get to multiple items and become that split-pushing threat. And Diabolus, I don't know if they really want to take him up on that, as you look like you have something else to say,
I
Xandor.
have. Colleen, who did the European Masters with us, and you know him, Colin, tweeted in and said, "Why is Chronica Cass the cutest man alive?"
Oh,
that's actually a really good question, because you are annoyingly good looking, and I just look at your face and it annoys me sometimes.
I get really awkward about that. Like, if I get compliments, I don't know.
I'm sorry, but you are annoyingly good looking.
No, it's like...
He's gone bright red. He's gone bright red, bless him.
I really can't deal with that. Like, I don't know what it is.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I can manage.
I'll never mention that again. We'll skip over that one.
For a little bit of awkwardness.
Hikaru tweeted the same tweet and just said Forge of Champions. Thank you, Hikaru. And Bartiono said Fito with the fit. I've basically turned this into a League of Legends chat show where you can just tweet in and cast the game remotely. If you want to just like get a sentence said on stream, feel free. Going to be engaged going down as PFI's found a good flank here. Hado and Yusa caught up against it. Oh, that's a really good charm. And now Yusa trading back. Monkeys is heading down. Oh, it's a 1-for-1 so far as Vigo picks up a lot of damage with that snipe. Going to be fast-legged looking for the hook. Monkey's now caught in the middle of things and doesn't have that Conqueror for the extended fights. A double kill goes over to Flirt, and it is Darkspawn who take advantage in that bot side of the map.
And it's really Vigo coming in there, making sure that because he gets the preemptive roam, because he was able to get the shot on Croxon, that he gets there, which means that there's no opportunity to turn this into an even trade. And that means that Diabolus is faced with choice. Either we go for an all-in and try to just take him down regardless, which was just never going to work, or we try and force something else, try to disengage. But that didn't work out that well at all. Great roam there from Vigo. He's really the deciding factor. And PFI gets taken down, but a great assist and great gank there.
I have been asked to keep talking about Alan Partridge because apparently your reactions are hilarious. So where did we get to with Alan Partridge?
So it was like, it's like Mr. Bean, but it's not, because it's not slapstick. Because obviously Mr. Bean is very, very like
slapstick.
Very
like
slapstick
Mr. Bean is like, yeah, Mr. Bean is super slapstick.
It's like really, it's not dry humor. When everyone thinks about the Brits,
I'm going to quiz my production room. Is Alan Partridge dry humor? Nod or shake your head. Yeah, it is dry humor. I'm being told. I think it is. I think it is quite dry. It's a little bit like, imagine like your awkward uncle who doesn't know anything about like political correctness.
Okay.
Alan Partridge is like your awkward uncle who doesn't know anything about political correctness.
When was this show?
Except for he's like a radio DJ at the same time.
So what era was this show?
It's still going. I mean, he's had movies and everything. He's a big deal in the UK. As Yusa now going to get, I think he's just dead. Yusa goes down. And this is all over the place. Rift Herald gets traded on the top side of the map. They're going to use it directly in the middle side of the map to try and pick up that turret. It's just one basic attack away. Krogson should be able to secure it. And that is actually Diabolus picking up the first turret. He gets the shockwave as well.
But there's no follow-up. And the second Ocean Drake now spawns. Diabolus are one of contest this. I don't think they can give it up for free, and we see across the map plays here from both teams. Flirt, not the first turret, but still able to pick up a turret here.
So sorry.
That's okay, as we see that with the combination of the plates and the first turret picked up Diabolus, they were at slight deficit.
Sorry.
In the end.
I got a great tweet. Oh, I love this. This is my favorite part of the Forge of Champions, where we just do tweets. Kerberos is going 1-for-1 on Akkas. Akkas should be able to root up, but Kerberos does close the distance instantaneously. But the flash will come out of Akkas to keep him safe. Would you like me to read this tweet to you? It is directed towards you.
Okay.
Do you know someone called Versatile Lol?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Versatile Lol has asked you, need your analysis on how Chronicler can not only have 10 out of 10 game knowledge, but also be an Unreal Turbo Fitty.
I don't...
That's such a good tweet.
I don't know how to respond to this, guys. Can someone help me? Where's Hip Raid?
I'll give you my analysis. I'll give you my analysis on that. obviously Chronicler has played the game a lot, and so he's, you know, he's quite up to date on League of Legends knowledge. He's got a lot of knowledge from the. Oh, that's a great hook from Fastlane. Croxon goes for the big play though. The ultimate does take Flirt down very low. That was a nice escape coming out from Croxon, but they back up for PFI. Might put Croxon in an awkward position now as PFI moves in for the flash. That's going to be Flirt picking up the kill, gets the shutdown, and they should be able to get this turret.
It's a bit tense. There's still the potential for cleanup. Those Kerberos is making his way towards top. They are fairly low. No flash available.
Kerberos might save this turret, actually. He has got the ultimate, too. In comes Monkeys
Speedy
also.
Scorpion.
Monkeys has got the Speedy Scorpion boots on. Looking for PFI. Oh, he gets him before he gets to that whole lantern. And they should be able to pick him up here. That was an awkward bit of lanterns. But I'm sorry, I'm still laughing about Turbo Fitty. I can't help it. It's such a great term. And also, your genes also contribute to that. So you've got great League of Legends analysis because of your genes, and you're a Turbo Fitty also because of your genes.
I don't have a response to that, but I'll take it.
Do you know what a good response when someone sends you a nice tweet?
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. That's
exactly.
It's much appreciated.
There you are.
It is.
You Turbo Fitty, you.
Oh, please don't. Please don't. Darkspawn, I keep trying to steer it back to the game. Krill is almost finished now for Akers, as he will be able to hopefully finish a Blade of the Ruined King soon, but with the Triforce on the horizon for Kerberos, I think that in a 1v1 scenario, I'm still not certain. Press the attack in small bursts is going to really help you out, especially with the proc from the W that you're going to have as Akers. But I feel like in extended skirmishes, Kerberos, even without the substantials, he has the advantage, but a kill up, there's the Triforce, and I think that means that Akers, at least for the foreseeable future, can't really try and take any risks here in the 1v1.
What do you make of this build coming out from Akers? It's not something that we see as much these days. He's going for the Blade of the Ruined King. Look, he's going for the pure on-hit Nico build. Sometimes we see like full AP Nico coming out, or like a Gwinsu's into sort of more full AP, but Akers is going for the, I think, like, better 1v1 build, I suppose, versus Kerberos here, but Kerberos has finished his Triforce now. Big item side for the area, and he's heading down towards that bottom side of the map.
Like I said, I think that Akers just stay until he finishes 2 items at the very least. I don't think he can 1v1 against Kerberos, not only because Kerberos, I think, is always going to win that, especially with the power spike of Irradiator, just hitting the Triforce, but also because always available, then is probably going to be more readily available for Kerberos than it is going to be for Akers. So your top lane play, Fastlane has been level 7 for a really, really long time.
Guys, when you tweet me and you want to have the tweet featured on the stream, please use the hashtag #ForToChampion, so at least I'm doing something for the broadcast and not just for my own Twitter interactions. So if you would like me to read it out, please use the hashtag #ForToChampions. It looks like there's going to be Monkeys caught up 1-for-1 with PFI. In goes Kerberos now, utilizing that item spike, looking to get onto Akers. Monkeys has got that ability to go in. They do get out of the ultimate and Nico, but that will not do anything as the ultimate from Lux will not get the kill, but it will be PFI.
He dodges the shockwave as well.
He dodges the shockwave, which is huge. It might have been more of an issue on Croxon's end, but they will pick it up 2-for-1 at the end of the day. I just said ultimate about 50 times because there were about 50 ultimates utilizing that small team fight there, and Croxon now keen to push on to Vigo. We'll end up just backing off, but that's, again, another utilization of that item spike for Kerberos. He's got that side lane pressure going up against Akers, and I think Monk is doing a really good job of just making sure he's across the map at all times, almost 100% kill participation.
Yeah, doing an incredible job after a fairly shaky first few games, especially the first one where he was not able to really have an impact on the Hacker. Second game on the Gragas, this job really well in team fights, but it did feel like, especially with that explosive cast, that you had a lot of difficulty with. But here in this final game, great kill participation, able to be wherever he needs to be. Righteous Glory is on the horizon for him as well, and if you think the Scorpion is speedy now, it's only going to get better. He's going to get those new limited edition Nikes. He just runs it down to you. And he has the backup for it as well. The speed up from the Orianna command with the ultimate is always a big threat.
And it's a good ball delivery system as well once you've got that Righteous Glory on board. I've got, okay, so I do have a couple more community interactions, as we love community. This is I'm basically Alan Partridge on Forge of Champions. This has actually gone full circle. Read me on stream, says Snuggly, hashtag Forge of Champions. Thanks, Snuggly. Thanks for your input. They're taking down the Ocean Drake here, maybe having a fight breaking out. We'll have to see.
Third Ocean Drake.
It is the third Ocean Drake. It's going to give them a lot of out of combat regeneration. Great for Baron fights. You can just regen pretty easily. Looks to go for the burst, but it will just be the smite that comes down as Yusa is going to be aggressive in positioning. Krogson on the sidelines here as Vigo just backing off. Actually gets engaged on by Hado, not in this range of the Lantern, but will get it eventually, and now Monk is forced to back off too. They pick up the Spire. That is all they need as Krogson himself just trying to zone PFI away. Very close to taking out this tier 2 turret. PFI engages way too hard. And that would be Monk is using the ultimate to pick him off. They should get the tier 2 turret off the back of this.
Immediately get engaged on a step too far forward. Monk he doesn't hesitate. Flash Impale immediately. And a top tier 1 turret is nice. But it's not really what you're looking for. It's not the best of trade-offs, especially as this bot lane touch is always getting pressured. And there's the engagement. Flirt needs to be careful, gets rooted down. A nice stopwatch there from Fast, like the teleport from Akers.
Oh, it's a big shockwave though as Krogson manages to get a huge amount of damage across the team. You still have a fairly healthy... I think that's just a healthy Kerberos. Kerberos could potentially clean up here. That is so much damage coming out. Kerberos tries to dive back in. He's so low. Flirt now could be the target. Kerberos gets the stun. Go on, Kerberos. You've got this, you madman. Oh, you don't. You don't have this.
No, he doesn't. I thought that he was going to do it. Thank God, Zed. Go for the... No, never mind. He's dead.
He doesn't have this.
The killer instinct there for Flirt. I thought for a second as well that when they took, I think it was Yusa so low that they were just going to go in there. But he didn't. He was like, no, this is too risky. And then Kerb saw a similar opportunity. Was like, no, this is my moment to shine. This is where we're going to make it work. And the second item...
he could have done it. I really think he could have done it. He just.
It was good lockdown from...
it was good lockdown. Good chain CC from Darkspawn too. Kerberos maybe got baited by getting that stun onto the Kai'Sa. He was like, oh wait, I can get a reset on my Q, and then bam, just kind of dead. Okay, got a bit more community interaction for you. Nothing involving you this time, don't worry. Abby from Enclave Chaos says, the real thing we should be talking about is the governor's new haircut. I'm sure that's exciting. If you want to go and see the governor's new haircut, please head over to the governor's Twitter and have a look at his haircut. And apparently, how much did his clippings weigh? Do you ever do those raffle things where you have those little jars full of like Smarties or beans or whatever, and you count how many are in there?
Yeah.
Maybe the Enclave should do a giveaway where it's like, guess how much Governor's hair clippings weighed.
That seems like not hygienic, does it?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Fair.
I'm just reading out what I'm being tweeted using the hashtag Forza Champions.
And,
Oh,
is the Forza Champions?
Orcs tweeted us. Our boy Orcs. He's not here with us right now. He's focusing on university work, but he'll be back fairly soon. Not that I disagree. Okay, this is actually about you, so I'm not going to read it.
Stay in school, kids.
I'm not going to read it out until after broadcast. I don't want to make you awkward.
That sounds like a good idea.
He used the word turbo fitty again.
I think it's very good.
I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there.
Skipping that one. I'm starting to get worried for Darkspawn here because even though in a 1v1 scenario, the AD Nico is going to be really good, the usual insurance that you have with a Nico is that once you reach the late game, no matter how far behind you are, it's like the Pop Blossom combined with the AoE burst is always going to be a way to find yourself back into this game. Now, in this instance, that isn't the case. Yes, Flirt is really far ahead, but the team fight still isn't looking too good. Rek'Sai isn't going to really scale well into these mid to late game team fights, whereas Diabolus, they have a tanky Skarner, they have a lot of follow-up, and more importantly, they have so much engage tools to get onto this squishy backline. So if you can set up a 4-1 and Akers can try and beat Kerberos, that might be good, but a team fight, as long as Flirt stays alive, there's possibilities in these long, drawn-out skirmishes, I think that Darkspawn can actually do well in. If they can get a pick with a Lux Binding or a Fresh Hook, those are some good opportunities as well, but it's really those moments. A true 5v5 does not look good. And here we go, Kerb, the hero moment.
Oh, no. Kerb. I mean, there's a lot of burst damage coming out. I think Vigo just caught him with the burst there.
There we go.
Jake's face. We are, again, I mean, look, there is some good late game scaling coming out with the Kai'Sa on the side of Darkspawn. There is a slight timer. I mean, Diabolus have got a great late game composition themselves as well. With an Orianna, you're always going to give yourself some team fight presence. The split push from Kerb going pretty well as well. You can see Akers just not in a solid enough position to go toe-to-toe with Kerberos right now. We'll get rooted up. I've had loads and loads of tweets, but I'm going to save
There's
it
also
because
Baron.
yeah, because Darkspawn started at the Baron, but it looks like they're going to be warded away because Kerberos teleports.
I think
up.
they heard the tweets and were like, well, we'll wait a second. Don't think Diabolus here, though.
Yeah, they're going to be just clearing out that Baron vision. I actually had a tweet from Barrage Jeff who said, what the hell has happened to Excalibur tonight? He's lost the plot and has been manically laughing on stream whilst reading out community tweets. Well, look, I'll explain this to you just in a way that I think is probably going to be the most business mind orientated. I wanted to basically increase the amount of people talking about Forge of Champions, and I think I have succeeded. There you go.
That is true.
There you go.
People love being
hire
featured.
me to manage your social media on stream. I will do a great job.
As, once again, Darkspawn trying to go for Kerberos, looking for the flank.
Going to try and get the big route onto Hado, though, as he can't quite engage the way he wanted to. Monk is as well looking for the ultimate, but they're forced back. Aka's now coming through. He's going to just throw his clone into the middle, though. They will not fall for it in terms of blowing too much damage. And actually, Darkspawn in a pretty good situation. Kerberos looking for the big plays with those stuns, but it looks like the rest of Diabolus are just going to take the disengage where they can.
There's also an Infernal Drake up, and that feels like a much safer route for Diabolus to take. And it looks like that is what they're pathing towards. Croxon, though, forces the flash down. Nice shockwave, making sure that PFI also can't go for a cheeky stealer on this Infernal. 4 Elemental Drakes now for Diabolus, and that Elder Drake, once again, going to spawn in 10 minutes, which I don't even know if we're going to reach, but if we do, and this game thus far, there's been a lot of kills, but in terms of breaking open the base, the pace hasn't been that high. Might actually reach that. And you might be wondering, why isn't Excalibur responding? I think that the community interaction is getting the better of him.
I'm gonna be serious now. This is serious times, and I've had my fun with community interaction. I will read them maybe after the game is done. And because we are now entering the business part of this game. You know, we have a very small gold disadvantage before Darkspawn. They have got a great scaling composition, the Lux, although a little bit behind actually at CS, almost flame horizoned by Krogson in the mid lane, by the way.
It's 80 CS.
Yep, he's down just a little bit of CS here. I think the majority of that gold lead probably sits in Krogson's back pocket because of that CS advantage that he's managed to build up. And actually, Kerberos has got a fairly healthy CS advantage over Aka's as well.
Just in general, it feels like Diabolus have been able to more consistently make use of the waves and deny a lot of CS to Darkspawn, leading to CS numbers just being a lot lower over the entirety of the map. And it's also been the pressure that Diabolus have been able to put up for Elemental Drakes, as mentioned previously. If they time it well, they're going to be able to get that Elder Dragon real soon as it spawns. And like I said, I think that a 5v5 team fight is kind of out of the question now for Darkspawn. They need to find different avenues back into this game. A 1v1 scenario where Aka's, now with his Rage Blade finished as well, is going to be able to take on Kerberos with his own teleport available. Might be looking good, but the 1v1 isn't on the horizon yet as Yusa and Hado decides to go back. And a full reset coming through, and this signals to me that, especially with the vision control there from Diabolus, that they do really want to try and make a Baron play here, because if Darkspawn can just stall out this game, eventually that gold lead, that CS lead, they're going to become fairly irrelevant.
Krogson just going to be clearing out that mid lane wave. They're kind of just doing the Baron dance right now. The Baron dance essentially evolves, pushing that mid lane wave, making sure they solidify their vision around the Baron pit. Kerberos is going to head to the side lane without teleport, by the way. This is pretty crucial. He does not have teleport, which means he's going to have to search for a pretty decisive 1v1 versus Aka's, or they might end up losing a man advantage on that side of the map. So do keep your eye on the Aka's and Kerberos side lane matchup. Kerberos can also go for the stun, remember. He can look to try and stun Aka's when he's teleporting. But it also means that Diabolus are probably unlikely to commit to a full-on Baron dance just because they don't have teleport on Kerberos.
So there is a cleanse available on Croxon, meaning that he's going to be a little bit safer. No flash for Monkeys, though. And Flirt is going to be the person to watch in his next team fight, because if he can stay alive long enough, and he can start shredding through the health bars of Diabolus, he really is the win condition for Darkspawn right now. Is that 1v1 between Curb and Aka's has got to wait. The Baron has been started, and Curb, on the courtesy of not having teleport, is already roaming down, but it looks like Darkspawn, they're not even going to contest this.
I mean, it's because Orianna may be just zoning away members of Diabolus from that mid lane entrance to the Baron pit, and I think Diabolus is going to get this for free. The smite isn't even good, but they get it anyway, and they're going to walk away with a nice bit of zoning, a bit of a bait and switch, really, with that positioning of Krogson in the middle of the map. And because there was no vision there for Darkspawn, they essentially give that up for free.
And there's so much zoning as well, because you know you can walk into a flawless duet. You know you can walk into an Orianna shockwave the moment you step forward too far in the fog of war. Not even to speak of the trapdoor. I mean, it's a trapdoor scorpion, not a trapdoor spider, but feels about just as bad when you get tagged by him as the inhibit or the minion or super baron waves now. Super baron waves, unbelievable.
Super baron waves.
The baron up minions making their way down every lane. The only lane that's not pushing is the bot lane, where Akers, once again, he's off on the split push, and that's all nice and dandy. It's teleport available.
Oh, Hado goes for the big engage onto fast legs. He does get out the ultimate from Kerberos. The box should do a disengaging for him, but the shockwave is good. It sets up the play, and now Monk is pulled. The Kaiser straight to her death, and now Diabolus are churning up for the win. PFI still in the game, though, and has managed to take out a couple of members of Diabolus, but it doesn't matter because realistically, those inhibitors will fall. There are big Baron minion waves to work with, and it is literally Akers and PFI versus the world. Diabolus are going for the win in this series. It was a hard-fought one where, to be honest, Darkspawn were a little bit out of it to begin with, but they go aggressive onto Krogson. Suddenly the damage is coming through. That's a great Zhonya's from Krogson. PFI now forced to back off. The Baron minions are doing the work. This should be the end for Diabolus. The victory over Hell, but how fast-legged is back? Just go for the Nexus. Get the win. Diabolus just need to finish this one. Yusa will get the kill. This should be the end. Diabolus win the series.
Every single game in Forge of Champions thus far has followed the exact same script. A team wins the first game, sometimes in a very decisive fashion, sometimes in a way where you're like, this could have gone both ways. But no matter what happens, the team that wins the first game is going to lose the next two ones.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen yesterday in the first series, the second series, and now in Hell Classico, Diabolus lose the first game, but they take the reverse sweep.
They get the reverse sweep on this very, very hard-fought series between Darkspawn, utilizing a support in the mid lane as well. Credit to Vigo. He had some really good performances. Thank you for your community interaction, by the way. It really made me smile. I had a really, really good time. Last one is, who would I like to go for a pint with out of any of the players? Hado, because he's got about 6 arms, so he could hold all of my pints, because he's just that good at League of Legends. He's got 6 arms. You see what I'm saying here? Anyway, we are going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, we'll be diving into our next series of the day, and you'll be getting rid of me, which is great. Oh, I thought my producer told me to go, but he didn't. I smiled awkwardly into the camera for 15 seconds. But anyway, that's about as Alan Partridge as you can get. Thank you very much for all the community interaction. Like I said, it was really fun. I really enjoyed kind of like having those conversations with you on Twitter. Also fun to make people use the hashtag Forge of Champions that isn't just coming from the LVP account, so thank you very much. The MVP for that game and that series, I think, was Yusa. So I'm just being confirmed that Yusa will take the MVP slot. He had a pretty solid performance on Sona and had some two big carry performances across those second games. He is one of the stand-up players from Diabolus, so that makes sense.
Really has been, and I think that even in the first game, like on the Sonar, he was the only player who didn't die until the very end, which is about as good as you can do in a game that you lose, and lose pretty hard. And then the Ezreal game, the amount of burst he was able to put out, thanks also in part to Kerberos's Randuin's Omen and Lemons Play.
I liked it. No, I like Kerberos's
Randuin's Omen. And then the Xayah play in the end there, a lot of safety, a lot of upfront damage, able to just consistently push that out. Very deserved MVP.
Yeah, I think Yusa will continue to win those awards throughout his career across maybe the UK scene and beyond. He's an incredible player. So thank you very much, guys. You are now actually getting rid of me, and we'll see you in the next series.